and I am about to put them in my beehive. Thank you for tuning in today. All right, once I get this camera set up, I'll stop shaking it. All right, I'm gonna dump all these bees into this hive. All right. Now, the first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put my gloves on, just to be safe. Even though honeybees are usually very friendly, they've been in for a long ride. I believe these came up from Georgia. It's also very windy here, so you might hear a lot of static on the microphone when wind starts blowing heavy. All right, I hope you all enjoy. If you have any questions, go ahead and comment any of your questions. But check this out. Check, you guys can see this. Look how many bees are in this box. I mean, this thing's heavy. It's probably about, I don't want to shake it, I'd say probably at least about 5 to 10 pounds of bees, it feels like. I don't know if you probably can't hear it, but there's this like ultrasonic buzz from all these bees buzzing in here, and it feels pretty cool. You can just be able to hold it. All right, so I'm gonna get ready to put them in. As you can see, they're bearded, so I can almost shake it and they move because they're all connected together. They're all holding each other, surrounding the queen, keeping her warm and safe. All right, as you can see, there's already a couple of them that have escaped out of here. So here's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna pop this top off. What they do is they put a can on top which has sugar water in it. And this will feed the bees. And I also have, in addition, I ordered some of these beehive patties, which are pretty much like pollen and all type of nutrients that they could use to help get them started in the springtime. All right, so this little yellow strap right here contains a small box, which is located in the middle, and that small little box has the queen in it. That's why they're all bearding around her, because they're trying to mate with her, but they can't get to her. Once I pull this can out, these bees are free to do whatever they want. But I'm sure they won't go that far because they want to stay near the queen. It's tight. I'm doing this without any smoke today. I figured that, they really don't need it. Oh my. They cut the hole just the size of this can and it barely fits out of it. There we go. All right. I see about 5 or 6 bees already coming out. They're just coming out to assess the situation. They're not going to really do anything, they're just trying to see what's going on right now. I'll bring the camera in a little closer for you. Okay, thank you everyone who is watching. If you have any comments, be sure to comment that. Like my videos, subscribe, all that stuff. And any questions, go ahead and ask them. I'll try to get to them by the end of this. Okay, let me see if we can see in here. I don't know how dark it is on the camera. I can't really adjust it with my gloves on, but all the bees are in there. I'm gonna dump them into this hive. The hive has this hexagon pattern on it, so it gets them started. Helps them start when they draw it out. I'll find one with a little bit on it, for example. So this was done by last year's bees. Unfortunately, they died over the winter. They didn't make it. They had a beetle infestation, and the hive just got very weak. Also, I had it in partial shade. This year, I moved location to full sun, so hopefully it does better this year. All right. Who's ready to watch me dump these bees in? Now what I'm gonna do is, before I dump them in, is remember how I was mentioning how this little strap right here, at the end of it is the queen. So we gotta get her out because the bees are gonna do whatever she does. Wherever she goes, they're gonna go. Hey, honeybees, how are you ladies doing? There we go. Pop that off. Okay. Now, if I move this too much, you'll see the bees come out and try to follow it. Because, like I said, they go wherever she goes. So, you want to see something pretty cool? Check this out. When I pull this out, you're going to see all these bees just follow along with it. Oh, dude, this thing's vibrating. It's crazy. Look at that. It's like a beard. I don't want to freak them out, so I'm just going to keep them in there. But you can see they're following wherever this box goes. So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to put this box put it right here in the middle for right now. I'll open it up in a minute. But for now, I'm just going to get it. Just watch out, guys. Don't get smashed. All right. So by doing that, it'll keep the queen right there. And then when I dump this in, all the bees will stay with it. Now, I hope this is in focus. I hope that my Wi-Fi is strong enough for you guys to see this clearly. And here we go. All right, this is the cool looking part. I hope y'all can see it. I'm gonna go around the back so you guys can get the view. And you literally just dump it like you're dumping just gently dump them out. See how they all just kind of they dump out like dirt almost. I don't want to piss them off, so whatever doesn't fall out gently, I'm just going to leave in here, and then over the next couple hours, they'll find a way out and go to the hive by themselves. So I don't want to aggravate them anymore. So I got the majority of the hive out. So I'm going to leave this right here up front. Watch out, little bees. I don't want to smash anybody. All right, so that's right out front. As you can see, they already found the pollen patty right here, and they're already going at it. Like, ooh, this is some delicious food. We've been starving for a couple days now from driving up from Georgia, and now you have a nice pollen patty. So as you can see, these bees are starting to come out and make their way over here. And I'm gonna let this queen out in just a moment. Okay. Now, I need some dexterity, so I might need to take my glove off. And use where is my tool? Oh, there it is. Always keep a beekeeping tool handy on you. Okay. Now let me set this queen free. These things, you can't rush it because you don't want to. You're already just on the trip up here. We lost. I mean, who knows? Some people say 8,000-10,000 bees are in this bucket, the box, and you might have lost like a couple hundred, 500 to 1,000 of them just in the journey alone. So you want to keep them alive as many as you can. So just give it a little shake to get them off. I have to see what I'm doing, but I really don't want to hurt the bees that are trying to get to her. All right, guys, can you move out for a little bit? So here's what I'm gonna do. I have this brush, this little horsehair brush. I'm gonna brush them off gently, get them to move. See, this is where the smoke would be handy. I could smoke them off of here, but I really didn't want to smoke them off this early in the game. All right, at the end of this little tube, in this little box, there's this little peg, and the peg is holding the queen in. So I have to somehow get to that without smashing any bees and remove one of these pegs. Now it is sugar, so they can eat. You could in fact leave her in there and they'll eat the way out of it after a couple days. But I'm just going to help them out by pushing one end out. That way it's easier for them to get into it. Like I said, move the bees out of your way. Okay. Ooh, this thing's crazy vibrating. It's like one of those old cell phones. All right. Let's give this little sugar cork a little pop out. Whoa, they're going nutso in there. I guess I'm trying to get to the bees without hurting them, but they're just everywhere. I might need a thinner tool. This tool's a little too big for this job. So as you can see, the bees already spread out on the hive, and even though they're flying around the area, that's fine. I'm gonna turn the camera to show you my little homestead garden here. So you can see right here, we have our beautiful peach tree, one of them. There is the greenhouse. If you want to learn how to build that, check out my other videos. You can build your own. You can build your own little tiny house, shed back there, and the whole garden beds. And we just did a new berry patch and a bunch of other stuff, and I'll feature them in my other videos. So if you haven't subscribed yet, do so. Check them out after this video. All right, back to the bees. Sorry about the wind, everybody. It's super windy. Oh my. All right, I'm gonna get this done quickly because I don't want these bees to be too cold, even though they're in the sun. Ooh, it's shaking the camera, it's so windy. Alright, can I please get to the queen without smashing any of you? Come on, guys. Gals, please move. Come on. And she's free. I don't know if you can see that, but I made the hole in the end. And look, the bees are already crawling out, guys. They found out that it's open, now they're going crazy. Come on. You really want to make sure the queen comes out into the hive. Well, I can see her. There she goes. There's the queen right there. There she is. All right, the queen is now in the hive. Okay. There's only one more bee stuck in here. Get out, bud. Come on. Crawl out. No, not in, out. I'm just going to leave him down. He'll find his way out in a little bit. All right, now the queen is in here. I'm going to close this up. Watch out, everybody, don't get smashed. The most frightening part of beekeeping is not getting stung, it's smashing your bees. Because they get everywhere and they don't move. Even though they can feel themselves getting smashed, they don't move until you literally crush them. So come on, get out of the way. Ooh. I heard one crush. All right, well, I guess you're not getting moved. Come on. Sometimes I blow on them, makes them upset, so that's why I usually use smoke. I want to push these back together so they stay warm. But there we go. All right, so the only place there's a problem is right here. They won't get out of the way. And I'll clear out with my tool. You might lose a bee or two. It happens. I mean, it's sad, but it's part of the... Okay, now they're together. So it's like deer walking in front of your car. The bees go right where you're trying to smash it. And it's like, can you not do that? All right, so here's the patty once again. I'm gonna lay the patty. Excuse me, bees. Gently brush them. I'm gonna lay the patty literally right across the top right here. That way, no matter where they're at in the hive, they can come up and eat it. They're completely fed. So I hope you guys are enjoying this video so far and seeing how easy it is to have your own beehive. It's a little bit of an investment. I mean, it costs. Some people might argue it's cheaper just to buy honey at the store. But when you do it yourself, you get your local honey, which contains all the literally immediately local and like within a couple miles from your property, all the local pollen that, and by that pollen into honey, it will actually, if you eat that, it will actually help you with your allergies. And I've noticed since I started doing this myself a couple years ago, that my allergies have greatly reduced in their severity after I've ingested my local pollen over like all year long. The winter, I put it in my tea, I just put it on bread, whatever I have to put honey on. You do it yourself, it's definitely better than in the store. I mean, still, honey's great no matter what, but local is always better. So, investment is these bees. We get them for about, depending on who get them from the supplier. It's about $150 if you get several of them. And so we usually do it in bulk, buy from a couple of people who want to keep bees. That way we get cheaper. These beehives, you can get them online. They can be anywhere from $200 to $1,000, depending on the quality, construction, and the type of beehive. Also the brand. So it's a little bit of an investment, but if you do it, it won't just create honey for yourself, which is one of the only things that lasts like pretty much forever, but it'll also increase your entire property and your neighborhood's production of fruits and vegetables and flowers. It pollinates these bees will pollinate all in this area for like a radius of like 6 miles almost. So definitely worth having. And like I said, they're very friendly. I mean, you can see I have gloves on, the whole bee suit, because they went through a lot of travel and they may be a little agitated. But most of the time I come back here with nothing on and they don't really ever bother me. I only got stung one time in the past couple of years, and that was because there was a bee. I took off my glove and I went to move something, and the bee got like jammed in my finger in the wood, and out of fear it stung me. So that's usually why you wear gloves, not because they're coming after you, but because when they get pinned against something and they get fearful and they think they're going to die, they're going to sting you anyway. All right, so I see the bees have gone down into the hive mostly. For some reason, the bees must think that the queen is still in here. Oh, she might be still in here, actually. There's the sugar wall. I wonder if she's in. No, I don't think she's in there. I saw her go in. So, to help them out, since they won't get out of here, I'm just going to open this thing up because they're going to keep doing it otherwise. All right, guys, come on out. Guys and gals, come on out. See, I do. This is the sugar that they usually eat. So I just put it in there for them so they can eat it if they want it. I think I'll leave the whole thing in there so they can eat at it at their leisure. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to end up this little gap right here. I have another special slide that I put sugar syrup into. That'll feed them as well as this patty. So now I'm gonna dump the last bit of the reluctant bees that are still in this box that they came in. I'll start gently helping them find their way home. And like I said, that they're always gonna go to wherever the queen is. And since she's in the middle of the hive, the rest of these bees will follow. I know it's aggressive the way I'm shaking it, but they really won't. It's really okay. I mean, they're holding on for dear life because they don't know what's going on right now. After that several hour journey, I'm sure they're pretty shaken up already. But like I said, I'm going to try to get the majority of them out and into the hive. Then the rest of them, they'll find their way in the next couple hours. So what I could do is I could open up the whole side of this box, make it even easier for them. Come on, out of the way. Now, I'm sure there's some professional beekeepers that have been doing this for years that might be watching this and saying, what is this guy doing? So keep in mind, I am an amateur beekeeper. I've been doing this for only a couple of years, and this is the way that I do it. So if you have any tips for me, please let me know. I know this is rather unconventional, this method, but it's getting cold and windy out here. I kind of want to help them get in the hive as soon as possible. So that is why I am pulling off this here wood, so I can open the fence up and let them all out. There we go. Should be a lot easier if the bees got out of the way. They seem to like go right where I'm trying to work at. Okay. So I got that corner open. I can really just dump them out. Alright, so for the rest of them, like I said, you can just leave the box here. In the next couple hours, they will find their own way into the hive. There's literally no reason to force them in because they will find their own way in. So let me get this propped up nicely up here. Alright, they'll find their way in soon. Okay. I don't know if you can hear over the wind, but these guys are buzzing. These gals. Trump 2024, you're right. I was reading the comments for anybody who doesn't know why I said that. Oh man. Things that Biden administration's been doing, it's making me want to produce my own food and my own self-reliance even more, because who knows when things might go bad around here or in the whole world at this point. So definitely good to have some of your own food security. And like I said, honey will last forever if it is properly stored. I mean, they found honey from 2,000 years ago buried in the pyramids in just like jars, like clay jars, or so. I mean, clearly it lasts forever. What does happen is, if you don't like pasteurize, like boil it, it will crystallize, turn into cube sugar. So if you do pasteurize it, it loses the natural raw honey and all the goodness of it, but it will stay liquid for a long time. Whereas if you don't do that, it retains all of its nutrients and everything natural, but then it does often cube after like 6 months to a year. I mean, you can heat it up and bring it back. It's up to you. Alrighty. So now I need to I will get a can opener, but I might just use the corner of my tool to pop this can open. Like I said, this can is liquid feed. Got the patty here. One thing I want to do is, if you see a dead bee, it's good to remove it, make it easier, because they'll have to do it anyway. Let me see. I wonder if I could pop just this thing. I don't want to do this on the ground. I'm going to hit it and pop a hole in it. There we go. A little bigger than I wanted it to, because it was softer than I thought. There's a hole. Now, let me see. What's the best way to place this bad boy? Depending on how fast this hole's a little big, if I drip a little too fast. Oh gee, that's way too fast. It's made a mess. They're all eating it already though. So I might actually have to use the honeybee feeder for this, because it's coming out way faster than I thought. I made the hole a little too big. So I'm gonna go show you what the honeybee feeder looks like. Alright, thank you for sticking with me, and here is the honeybee feeder box. See, this box, it's like a plastic box, and it's got these holes that the bees can go in. There's a mesh netting so they can go all the way down to the bottom and drink, and then walk their way back up without getting wet. Pretty cool, right? Ooh. So, take another hole so it can get air, and what I'll do is I'll start filling this bad boy up. You know what I'm gonna do? First off, I just noticed there's a staple somehow fell on my bee patty. Get rid of the staple. I'm gonna make these bees here a gourmet meal. I'm gonna give them a little patty drizzled with a little bit of this sweetness to help entice them. Now, if it gets on the bees, it's not a big deal because the other bees clean them off. Bees are very, like, what's the word? Very, very clean. I'm trying to think of the word for that. They keep themselves very clean. They'll clean each other. So I see there's some dead bees up here, so I want to move them to help that out because that make it harder for them to clean off. But like I said, you will lose bees, but bees' lifespan's only about, I think it's like 60 days, 60 to 90. I think 60 days. I think at most, usually around average. So bees, they'll die getting replaced. So don't worry about it if you lose some. All right, I got a nice delicious meal over there for them. They're gonna love that meal. Covered with fresh syrup and then patty. I'm gonna keep pouring this in here. La-di-da. Oh, made a mess. Like I said, don't worry because they'll clean up everything. I can spill all over this box, like the biggest mess you've ever seen. And within like 24 hours, it'll be clean as a whistle. So don't worry about any messes. This stuff's pretty viscous. I'm pouring a little slower than I had planned, so sorry I'm making you guys wait while I dump this whole thing in here. I thought it would pour a little faster than this. Anyway, what are your thoughts, everyone? Do you think you want to take on beekeeping yourself? Is there anything making you any reservations? Anything holding you back? Any questions? Oh man, the wind's blowing this everywhere. Can't even get it in. That's what she said. All right, that's the majority of it. Nice. So I can't see, you don't see on video, but in these holes, I can see the fluid at the bottom of the little tubes. So the bees can climb down the tubes and get the food. All right, I'll drop this bad boy in here. Watch out, bees, don't get smashed. It's like a millimeter too thick, so I gotta do a little adjustment here. There we go. And she's in. All right. They'll be able to find their way over there and eat and drink all day, so they'll be good. The other thing is, I have my koi ponds about 25 feet from right here, so they'll be able to have a water source to drink from. At this point, I can just turn this campsite down and let it sit here for like 25-30 minutes, let it all drain out. They'll get the rest of it for me. Okay, let that drain out right there. Let's check back in on this box. So, much less than there was before. See, they really only hang on when they're scared, so once they get relaxed, they're easier to fall out. Like I said, take out what can come out, and the rest of them, they'll find their way out. So you can just leave it here, let it sit for a couple hours. So leave it there like that. And since there's a hole down the screen, and on this side, they will find their way out and into the beehive. I won't aim and focus. Where's the focus on this camera? Come on. It's crazy, I can feel this guy like through the glove of my finger. With this girl. Trying to keep it in focus for you. Very hard with the mask on. I'm trying to see what I'm doing here. All right. So she's probably eating. Oh yeah, she is. She's eating the sugar that spilled on my glove. See her tongue come out? Yeah, she's camera shy. Shaking a booty for you. Oh, she's pooping. Check that out. Check that out. That's like propolis. I don't think it's poop. I think it's propolis. Or it could be a little bit of both, which I think their propolis is poop. That's what they use. It's like they're like wax type stuff. They use it to like seal holes. Maybe they do that when they're scared or eating. I don't know. But I guess they definitely use that to seal up any gaps in their any gaps that are in their hive, any cracks in the wood. They propolis it to fill it up. Twerk it, twerk it, twerk it. Yeah, look at this bee twerking. How often do you see a bee twerk on your finger? I'll tell you. Ooh, beautiful. She's sitting there eating away, having a good time. All right, we're gonna bring her to the hive. And you just tap her off like gently. There you go, and she's flying off anyway. So you can see the bees kind of just chill out, shake them off. This guy's gonna go. Come on. Sometimes when they're dying, they kind of hang on to you too because they're like they can't really fly. They're like out of energy. So I'm just gonna let her go until she decides to leave. So, anybody else have any questions, any concerns, any suggestions for me? I mean, I know you only see a couple bees on top, but there's thousands now inside these grates. They all went down. They're already picking out their bunks where they want to start building at. Here I already have some peach blossoms falling in here. Beautiful. Look at all these beautiful bees. Save the bees! Remember, if we don't have bees, we don't have food. I mean, we can do pollination ourselves, but never will be the quality and the level that the honeybees and other pollinators do. Honeybees, oh no, I killed one. Oops. That's sad. Honeybees, butterflies, and other insects. Alright. So you can see that these bees right here, like, they don't know what to do, but they're kind of figuring out that there's an exit up top. So I'm gonna give it one more shake before I leave it for the rest of the day. There we go. Like I said, just let it sit here and they'll find their way out. Alright, one more thing I am going to add is this guy. This little piece of wood has two different cuts. It has this wide cut and this narrow cut. Since it gets cold at night still, I'm gonna use the narrow cut for the first like week or so, because this way it seals the box a little bit more, but it'll keep them warm on the cold nights. So I literally just place this right out front. Put so much wax on here, I can't get anything in. Okay, so with that in, the beehive now has its nice little hole right down there. The bees can come in. Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't even have the camera on. Sorry about that. So this little hole right there, see the bee going in right there? See? The bee will go in those holes, and I'm going to cover the top in a moment. I'm just letting you guys get a view of it before I cover it up. I'm going to go grab the lid. All right. Let's see how much of this drained out. Pretty much all of it. So the rest of it, I'm gonna literally just let it drain here. And then they'll just, like I said, they're gonna clean it up. They'll clean it up wherever I put it. Put it right here for now since it's sticking to my hand. I can't get off. Can't get it off. Right there. Stay there. Good job. All right. Watch out, bees. Please do not get smashed. All right, bees. So what I usually do is I bring it on one side first. He's like, how do I get back in? You clocked me out. Go find the entrance. They always do, so don't worry about that. They'll find the entrance. This lets the air out. Alright, a spider trying to get. No way! No way. He must have gone on this thing was laying in the grass. We got on it that way. Okay. Here is the lid. Flip her over. Okay. Once the lid is on, we now have a beautiful beehive. So, let me zoom out a little bit for you guys. Here we go. Okay. So there is the beehive, minus this junk in the way. So the hole's behind the can. That's where it'll enter and exit from for now. And there's only one level, which is called a super. Each box is only one level for now. Once they get established and fill it in, they can add another one, and then the honey super on top as needed. But that'll be for a couple months probably. So once again, I want to thank everyone for watching. If you haven't done so by now, be sure to subscribe and continue living the good life. One last look at the bees before we get them. See, they're cleaning up all the mess. Even over here's eating. Eating. All right. Take care, everyone.